my long locks. I'll let my long locks come
All
out.
right.
2, 1. Wait. Oh, so wait. Okay. So is it 3, 2, 1? Oh wait. No. I watched it on Wayne's World. It's supposed to be 3. No, 3.
And we're live.
There, we did it right. So it's
boom. 3, 2, 1.
No, you're not supposed to say it.
3, 2. You're not supposed to say 3, 2, 1.
No. It's the silent. Didn't you see Wayne's World? It's the silent because Garth kept getting confused.
Only 17 people saw Wayne's World in 1997.
Only 17 people are seeing us right now.
That's true. That's true.
Actually, I don't think it's
So we're
17.
as popular as Wayne's World, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Wait, no, Wayne's World's a great. Dude, no more than 17 people watch Wayne's World.
Oh, okay, well, real quick, if everybody out there doesn't know this camera, right? We're in this camera. Am I pointing at the camera? These people right here.
No, we're in that camera.
So we are live from the HVAC School Symposium. It is an amazing event so far. I mean, I don't even know what to say. There's just so many people here.
What's interesting is it actually, and we're asking the audience right now, is it actually HVACR School Symposium or HVAC School Symposium?
Is it?
HVAC School Symposium. It's right there.
Austin, I want your opinion. What is it?
I think it's HVACR school.
Okay, so, but I think,
It's-
no, but you know,
there
he
is an
calls it
R.
HVAC school.
Yeah.
I think the
Like, I have
web
this
is
shirt on.
HVACRschool.com.
Yeah,
There's
it's the HVAC School Symposium.
You know, one of these days, we're gonna get this figured out.
What are we trying to figure out?
You know what'd be really awesome?
I don't know.
Is we started a show on time. We had things together. We came together like a fine oiled machine instead of a clunky old
I have to tell you
compressor.
something. I really had to use the washroom, but there was like a long line.
Washroom.
A lot of people drinking beer here, and
Yeah, I mean, since I'm a responsible adult, I went 75 minutes ago, and I mean, because I knew we had something to do. So but again, I am the responsible one.
You know the interesting thing though, like I don't know that I've ever seen a line of men waiting for a porta potty. It's usually a line of women waiting for a porta potty. This is a very interesting event.
Yeah, I don't really stand in a whole lot of men lines.
No, okay.
You know. But so anyway, I don't know. This has just been an amazing event so far. I've met so many people online that I never thought I would meet in person. I got a list of them actually right here because I was going to forget their names. Alex, Mimi, so far, Alex and Ed Janawa. Is it Janawa?
Yeah, we're live. Just so
They
much you know.
have been some of the funnest people that I've met so far. Ed Janawa. Yeah, thanks, Chris. You want to text me while we're doing it? Maybe you can call me.
I did just get an email. Let me make sure. Let me pre-read this. I shouldn't blindly read emails.
You know what? If I correct Chris too much, you know what he does? I'm sorry. Do you know who I am? Do you know how many subscribers I have?
Hey Bill, can you just send that to me in an
Excuse
email
me?
format? Send it to hvacrvideos@gmail.com.
I guess you don't know who I am. I'm kind of a big deal around here, is what he tells us.
that's like the conversation we've been having with everyone we walk into
Mhm.
with Chris. He's like,
Yeah, he doesn't use it. It doesn't
he
introduce
showed the
himself.
logo on the shirt. He's like, you see
Do you
this?
know who this is?
Yeah.
Exactly.
He walks up to people and say, "Oh, you want my autograph?" I'm like, "Who are you?" You want my autograph? And they just signs on their shirt. And they're like, "You just ruined my shirt."
Hey, back to everyone we've been meeting here.
Yeah. Alex, Ed, so far they've been awesome.
Adam's the new Joe. He's
Trevor, Steve Rogers, Bill and Billy
Let
Spoon.
me interrupt for a very quick story, all right?
Which one?
So last night we went out to dinner. We went out with a big group of people. We had, the 2.0 guys?
Yeah, I know where the story's going.
Chris, we had Trevor Matthews.
So, yeah, that was a really nice event.
So we all go to sit together at a table, and Chris is like, you know what? Me and Trevor are gonna go sit over by ourselves.
Yeah, you guys go do your thing. I'm
No,
gonna do my
That's
thing.
not how that worked. We blindly walked into a restaurant with like 32 people, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna
It's
work.
all lies.
Yes.
Me and Bill walked in like, guys, we're best friends. We're gonna sit together.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk.
All right.
discuss the
I'm
show."
gonna be honest. Okay, what really happened was Trevor and I had been planning on going out to dinner. Okay, and then you guys overheard me talking to Trevor saying I was going out to dinner. You guys, oh, okay, cool, let's go to dinner. So I felt too embarrassed to say no to you guys. So truly, Trevor and I went to dinner by ourselves.
It's called coattails.
And
Right.
basically, I didn't want
Right.
you guys to sit with us. So Trevor and I sat down at our own table.
In
You
a
know,
booth.
just
A
a
booth.
really nice booth.
Facing each other.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Is
anyways,
sharing a pizza.
Bill had the idea, and me and Bill played on this a little bit, but he wanted to send them a little bit of a gift. So we picked out,
Very romantic.
drink. We sent them, initially we were gonna send them one glass of wine with 2 straws, but we didn't want to offend Trevor.
Yeah.
Curtis, we're not really worried
Yeah, we
about.
don't care about
So we sent them 2 glasses of wine. What was it, like bubbly?
rosé, pink rosé. Yeah.
So the server comes over and she's like, "Oh, I have these 2 glasses of wine," and we're like, Trevor and I are drinking beers," and then they're like, "Yeah."
They look over to us and we're like,
Hi, from us. Yeah, it was a good time. A good time was had by us.
so back to the list of people we've been meeting.
So also, I want to thank Austin, who's over there.
I think he's writing us a note.
Yeah.
He helped us
I'm
set,
just gonna
set
tell
all
you
this
guys.
up.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Yeah, you guys have it on the camera audio.
Oh, that's okay. That's great.
Can you
Okay.
hear us?
It doesn't sound very good.
Oh, okay. Can we switch it over like live? Can you?
Um,
Oh, I can do that. I know how to do that. Here.
Yeah, you might be able to.
Yeah.
Oh,
Settings.
here we go.
Yeah, go to settings. See, this is how well oiled our machine is.
Yeah, anybody who's
That was the
watched
one
this-
thing he said that we should try to figure out before the
this
show.
audio.
Yeah, there you go, right there.
See
Roadcaster.
where you guys were, but I was here
Yeah,
hanging
there
out
we
with
go.
Austin,
That should make it better.
trying to figure out the logistics long
that
long
work?
before the show.
Yeah, that's much better. Is the microphone
I
working?
don't know.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can
So-
hear you guys.
Just a FYI, not that we'll ever do this again because we will not be invited back
Yeah,
here, Austin.
absolutely
But
not.
next
I
time,
can't
just yell it, dude. You don't need to worry about us.
You
You're
know,
not going to ruin our show.
Fun story. When we
Yeah.
got here,
And
when-
Ty, don't try to be quiet over there. Just go to town, man. You know?
when me and Adam got here,
Ty should come over and say hello to us.
Yeah, come on. You just Brian. Someone else will be here in a few minutes. So, but yeah, come on over. Say hi.
Yeah.
We'll introduce you. Oh yeah, we technically wanted to have you on the show,
Right.
but I don't know if our show fits your.
if you have a brand to protect, you might want to stay away.
Yeah, you might not want to come on our show.
Yeah. If you have
Hit-
a reputation
hit,
in the
red.
industry as being a
Yeah,
upstanding member of this
There you go.
society,
No,
you might want to. Okay, then you're fine. You're
the
absolutely.
people that
fine.
really know me know that sarcasm and jokes are a running
I
thing.
don't think you know what you're getting yourself into with this. Okay,
Oh, you're
because you
fine.
cannot look at me and my platform and think it's anything like
No.
this show. It is polar opposite, and I will tell you off this because we're going to be polite since we've got a nice background behind us and
Yeah.
stuff. So I'll tell you some stories about the stuff we talk about on this show.
But not right now.
Maybe I'll even send you a link, and then you can decide whether or not we
Like-
want it. But you were on my list of people that I wanted to get onto the show sometime. So it's
I mean,
an online format. It's very
You
rare.
can tell like who's wearing a shirt with a collar on it.
Yeah.
You know.
So let
that's
me
how you figure things out.
before our other guest walks in. This is Ty Branaman. Ty, I know Ty as an educator. And what started how you got my attention was I think I saw a class somewhere, maybe online or maybe at the first HVAC Symposium. But I think I found you online before that. But I started following your travels. You were like a nomad for a while, kind of traveling around. And I was intrigued because I personally follow a lot of off-road channels and stuff. So like, it was like, oh, this is an educator, an HVAC, and he's a nomad. That is a very interesting lifestyle. So
I do love that. And HVAC is such a great career. It's provided me all these other opportunities, but I'm a little different. I'm a little weird. I decided to get rid of the house and
No.
get rid of everything and live in the truck and travel around. And
That was-
while homeless,
That
living
was
in a
your
truck,
decision.
I
that wasn't the bank saying you're cut off and
No,
you now live in
well,
your car.
That's
Like
a
you
long
didn't
story.
sell all that stuff to buy like drugs and
It's like
stuff.
13 years ago, I had a divorce that took everything. But no, later I was here and I decided, I don't need a big house. I don't need all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I started downsizing. And then I just had a little room I was renting, and I realized I just sleep here, so I could just sleep in the truck. And then so then I was officially homeless. I'd actually live in a desert, come into the city to work, and I loved it. And then I met this really beautiful, awesome woman, and she's like, "I love you," and I'm like, "I'm homeless, living in my truck, traveling around, just talking about HVAC." She goes, "Great, I'll join."
Can I interrupt you real quick?
She is a keeper.
How does a homeless man meet a woman? There's guys with homes and they can't meet women.
Right. And wait, hold on a second. A beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let
Yes,
alone.
beautiful. Yes, he is absolutely amazing. I don't know. Because I was swore I was never going to get married, and being homeless and living in your truck was a pretty good way of securing that. But no, here I am married, and we actually live part time in a barn in Texas
Oh,
with a studio outside that I'm making my videos in.
is there
and then-
animals in said barn?
Sometimes we got possums that come in and raccoons,
Oh,
and
yes.
sometimes I'm recording
We-
and there's a raccoon on the roof. And
Real quick interruption here. I will not tell the story here, but we will definitely have to have Nathan Orr on the show again, and he's gonna have to tell his goat story.
Yes.
Okay,
100%.
but that's a whole by
All
thing
right.
because
ADD. Let him finish.
Yeah,
what he's saying here.
sorry. This is how the show works.
no, I love it. I love it. This is how I'm ADD all the time, so I never finish a
So
full
back
thought.
to you
being homeless, your life is in the garbage, and then you met a beautiful woman, and
Oh, life wasn't in the garbage. It was a homeless by choice. My life is awesome.
No, Bill likes to romanticize things, so that's why he said life in the
It
garbage.
is
He's
drama.
being
I'm
dry
drawing, I'm drawing the
humor over here.
audience with dramatic pauses, and like you had a drug problem, of course, sold all your stuff, and your life was down. All of a sudden, this beautiful woman came in your life, and now everything just changed.
Yep.
She did change everything because I swore I was never going to get married again. And then here I am. And I'm happily married. Like that was so much different than before.
Can you elaborate on this thing?
Didn't I explain the happily married? These guys are in an
you got the same
Airbnb
thing
with
Chris
me,
has.
and they get to
Oh,
listen to
yeah.
conversations between normal
Yeah.
couples, and they're like, "What is
Oh,
this
man.
sacrilege? You actually told your wife I love you when you got off the phone with her?"
Yeah, I threw up a little bit in my mouth. It's super gross. They're
My poor
cute
wife, she's
couple.
like, we've been fake internet friends, as she puts it, for 2 years now or something like that. And she's like, it's about time you get to meet your fake internet friends. So,
yeah.
oh man. So let's get back to the show real quick, because like I'm good at keeping us on topic, right? So we are at the third annual HVACR School Training Symposium, and what an amazing event. So many great speakers, so many great sessions. It has been awesome. I personally enjoy the sessions, but I'm curious how you think and you guys think too. But one of my favorite parts about this is these breakout conversations that keep happening, kind of like what we're doing right here, but all throughout the show. People start talking to each other, and next thing you know, they're standing there for half an hour just
Yeah.
having these great
Like the
conversations.
parking lot conversations. I've
Yeah.
honestly learned so much. I don't want to say more than I have like in the tents or in the residential or commercial side of the warehouses there, but just in the parking lot, just talking to people, just all of a sudden we're on a subject. I'm like, what's this? How's that working?
100%.
It's
It is
fantastic.
amazing.
Completely agree.
And because we have such good fluid continuity of the show, I do want to say, Jessica, you don't have to record the whole thing if you don't want to. Okay. I do want to address that. I'm happy. That's great, but you don't have to record the whole thing. I just wanted the funny banter in the beginning. That's
So-
all I wanted. So
Hey, Ty, I wanted to ask you, how did you, what was your beginnings in HVAC? Like, how did you move forward as an educator?
Oh man, that's a crazy story. I was working with my dad originally doing sheet metal and duct work and some roofing stuff. And I love my dad, but I did not love working with my dad at all. And so I was doing ranch work, and then I realized I had to move into that big city of, almost 80,000 people. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a joke. Okay. But really it was. And then,
That's
so
big to me where I come from.
excellent. Thanks. I used to drive like 30 minutes to get a town of 800 people. I graduated to top 20 in my class because
We just
there was
got a
20.
Dollar General.
Whoa, okay, you beat me. You win. That's no. So and I started working HVAC because I needed a job, and then I had this one moment with the guy, and he said, "Hey, this is what I love about what I do." And the guy was a complete jerk to me, but there was that one moment that he shared what he loved about what he did, and that one moment made a huge impact. And I realized, I could see myself doing this. I worked for a company that was better, and I kept learning, and people wouldn't answer questions, so I had to read, and I hated reading. And then I learned, how to translate that information, and then I started helping others, and then I started my company, and I didn't enjoy that. Had a horrible divorce, and decided, hey, let's move to Florida, and then started teaching from there, and then traveled the world.
yeah,
That's awesome.
That is awesome. It's very interesting because I grew up working for my father. And we have definitely butt heads. We've learned to deal with each other. We've been in a good place for the last 10 years, but there was a time when it was pretty tough. Now, what I found for me, and I'm not saying this is the same for you, but what I found for me, there was equal issues on both sides, but a lot of it was actually on my own side. I was a little bit above, whatever you want to say. And I
Better than other
just,
people?
yeah, I just kind of, I realized that, of course there was always issues on both sides, but the way that I solved most of the issues was by just, getting past a lot of silly things that I found.
Slapping him with the big picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
No, but
Big-
I
you know what they say, big picture, little package.
I truly owe everything to my dad. And I mentioned that in a talk that I was doing too, but good and bad, I owe everything from it. And even all the good I learned from him, and even the bad, I learned good, valuable lessons from it. Little things like, I can remember, my dad, he came from a different time. The equipment was, forgiving. The customers were forgiving. And there was lots of beer can cold. There was lots of charging by pressures. There was lots of not knowing how to fix things. So we would throw all kinds of parts at it. But it was interesting because I'd watch him write up those invoices, and then I'd be confused because I'm like, Dad, we put on all these parts, but you only charged for one. you know? And I'm like, I don't understand. And he's like, well, because none of those fixed it, because I didn't know how to fix it, but I'm only charging them for what actually fixed the thing. And I'm sitting here thinking, but we lost money. And he's like, well, I mean, you know, that was the little bits of
Price of doing
integrity.
business.
That was the integrity. And that
Yeah.
wasn't the right way to do things, but that's the way that I grew up. And then I started questioning things and challenging things and starting to learn for myself. And so it's interesting how we all grow from silly
So-
things with our parents and stuff too. So
Who's your favorite speaker from this event so far?
I cannot choose a favorite.
No?
I'm love it. You know,
Oh,
the conversations are awesome. I'm going to go back and watch everything later when
Yeah.
it's quiet and I can actually focus on it because I can't
For
keep
sure.
up with everything.
Yeah.
I love the conversations, the people meeting all of the stories of where people came from. You know, everybody came from so many different backgrounds and they're doing so many different things. Oh man, I'm
All the
excited
different
about
parts of the industry I feel are fully represented in this.
so
In this,
I got to
event.
ask a question. You might have it on there. I'm going to change the subject right now. I don't know if we already asked you
No.
this question, but I'm going to ask it again. Okay. When you park your car, do you set your parking brake?
Oh,
that.
God.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Too bad.
See,
Where's the
it's
sound effects?
normal. No, it is normal. These guys over here
Nope.
are making
Nope,
fun of
not
me.
Normal.
Jessica, do you set your parking brake? Why?
Because she's normal.
Brett, do you set your parking brake?
No.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to ask Brian right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to ask Brian.
Yeah, we have a super duper special guest about to come into the studio here.
He's in the green room getting ready right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's actually, I think he's enjoying the fact that he gets to sit down for a minute. So we'll let him relax over there for a
Yeah.
minute. So,
Yeah.
and if he chooses to walk over here, he chooses to walk over here.
So back to favorite speakers. Chris, do you have
Yes.
a favorite speaker? Hey, you can't
No.
say yourself like you always do.
Absolutely.
you know
He
what?
does a great job.
Honestly, I need to rewatch it because I will genuinely say I have no idea what I talked about.
Neither do I.
I really don't remember what I talked about. So I don't
Me-
know if it's
me-
possible for me to watch some video
Bill-
footage because I don't remember.
Bill and I were in the background like, get off the stage.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
No, it's hard to say a favorite one. There's so much value in everything that's here. There's so many
True.
different great speakers, and I don't think it's really fair to pick a favorite.
My favorite was Trevor.
But after
Just
the
throwing
show,
that-
I'll tell you. As soon as we log off, I'll tell you guys who my favorite was.
Oh.
So, okay.
I shouldn't have said that live, should I? No,
Yeah, probably.
Trevor. I feel Trevor did a great job in his speech, his display. He had a full compressor tear down. I mean, I actually learned a lot from Trevor. It was a very good conversation.
So Trevor is a great one too because we've all built a unique relationship. I've been getting really close to Trevor too, and talking with him a lot lately. And then so to actually get to meet him in person,
You know,
is really
that's a
exciting.
that's a good point because a lot of these guys I've interacted with on social media platforms and in various other ways. But the other thing that you don't get out of talking, you know, usually on social media, we're talking shop.
Yeah.
When you meet them in person, you talk a little bit of shop, but then you get into the personal lives. You hear about, oh, I'm here with my kids, I'm here with my family, I'm here doing this or that or the other thing. And it's like a whole new.
You know who I was excited to meet? Joe Shearer.
Yeah.
I've talked to
yeah,
him
yeah,
like
yeah.
We've all talked to him 100 times.
hundreds of probably 100 hours on the internet.
Joe Shearer had the
You
best
know,
comment.
And
He-
guess what?
He's one of those.
Super nice.
Hey,
He's
yeah.
not a troublemaker in real life.
But no, you know what I got to say about
That we-
Joe
that
Shearer?
we
Because
know
I'd
of.
met him before too. You know, he challenges me on a lot of stuff on social media, and he has brought things to my attention that I was completely ignorant about and incorrect about. And he, you know, he calls it like it is. And that's what I appreciate about Joe Shearer. You know, when he sees something, he tells you, no, you're wrong. And it's like, wait, what? And he's like, no, you're completely
Yeah,
wrong. That makes
you're-
absolutely no sense. And it's
You-
like, oh, you're right.
You're wrong a lot, though.
Oh, I
Let's
am.
be honest.
That's true.
We
That's
need
true.
people that say that though. I look for people that can tell me, "Hey, Ty, you're wrong." Because some people are like, "Well, I was afraid to tell you." I was like, "No, I need people to tell me
No.
when I'm wrong, or tell me when I overstep my bounds."
Yeah.
Because you know we all have emotions. We get carried away with stuff, and I need people that put me back in my place, or at least make me realize it. You know, or tell me, "Hey, I don't know." I was having a conversation with Jim Bergman earlier, and it was a simple conversation.
Hey, Ty, you're wrong. It's actually Jim Bergman.
Jim Bergman, sorry.
So you're wrong. Just
I
wanted
am
to make
wrong,
sure.
yes.
You're wrong.
Oh, you know, he brought me a whole nother. He started asking me questions. I started getting uncomfortable because like, man, I don't know this. And then I realized I don't know it, and I started getting excited.
Yeah.
And then I was leaning
You
into,
get an opportunity
you know,
to learn.
show
Yeah.
me this, show me the more light.
But you were okay. So I'm not saying that we're all above anything, but did that bring back those
Wait,
memories of?
that you're saying you're above.
No, I'm
everyone.
not.
That's
But did
where-
that
that's
bring
where we're
back
going.
those memories?
Yeah.
I can remember being young and being that feeling when you're told you're wrong and you're like, what, that uncomfortable. But you know what? As you get older, like I embrace that because it's like, wow, I am wrong. So there's an opportunity to learn. There's an opportunity to grow. And I'm not afraid
See,
to say that I'm wrong.
It helps to try to forget all the stuff you've learned, and then you can just relearn it all the time. And you feel that same fuzzy feeling over and over again, like I do.
Okay. Yeah. No, that sounds like you need to go see a doctor.
Like I constantly am calling.
That's like that
Chris, I'm
movie.
like, what's this thing with it's got a head on it and a bulb, and it's like next to the evaporator, and I don't know what's this thing do again.
It
And they're
says
like,
spoiling on it, but you know,
yeah, it's like, I don't know.
I think it's a problem.
I just put the bulb.
I think there's
on
something wrong with it.
I just put the bulb over there and made some adjustments. You
Yeah.
know?
So I use that same thing when I teach. I hate to tell people that they're wrong. I said, I love that you're answering. I love that you're thinking. Let's convert that over to something else. So that way you put down keep those walls from being built up, and then you can now introduce the truth.
Yeah.
Because I know how that feels, and we've all just been, I think, made that way of like, hey, you're wrong, and then you have to defend yourself. We spend 10% of our lives learning and 90% defending what we think we know.
Yeah.
So if you can keep those barriers down, and you can have a much better time at introducing. But I was a horrible student. I have ADD, and I troublemaker, and so I teach to me. And so people are like, I like how you teach. I'm like, great. And other people are like, man, I can't stand how you teach. I'm like, cool. There's like 1,000 other people to learn from, and that's what I love about this. Is we all have different styles. We all have different ways of learning, and we can all help each other. And
I think that it's also important for us, at least my style of doing things. And I guess maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I like to show that we're human, that we make mistakes. As long as we address them and understand the mistakes, then we can correct them. And I try to make an effort to show that kind of stuff in my content. And in the past I didn't. And then I really felt like a whole imposter thing, and it's like I kind of feel wrong editing out all these mistakes, and it's because I made them and it's real.
What I liked about some of your content is at times you're very visual. Like you'll build stuff, you know what I mean? Like I think that one of the first videos I ever saw was like you were building like cubic feet of air for combustion air, and you started stacking them. And it's so visual, it makes it very easy to understand and for people to grasp it.
It's a much easier way to learn.
I appreciate that. I just look at how I've learned how to read technical stuff and think, how can I make this more interesting to myself?
How can you engage people more so it doesn't sound like stereo instructions all the time?
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I love this trade, and I figure, if there's more ways to explain it and touch it, and we all have different ways of explaining it.
Right.
I think that's great. I love how you have the camera out. I usually just assign students your videos, and then we would discuss them together. And it's great. I mean, what you do, I have no way of doing that. It's awesome. I love how you guys are communicating and talking with people. It's great. And we all have something we can do to help each other out and help the new generation coming in, and people, not even new generations, people that have a job that they don't like. And they're like, you know what? I want to do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Well,
that's
Ty,
awesome.
appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you guys so much.
Stopping by our brand new studio here, located
Yeah.
in Claremont, Florida.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here. Appreciate it.
We definitely want to schedule a time. We're going to put you on the spot here, so we want to have you on, but we will definitely send you some clips of what it really is like normally.
Hey,
When
I'm
we
an
don't
open book. You can ask
have
me
an
an
anything
official
you want,
corporate
and
background behind us. So
we completely expect you not to answer emails.
exactly. So
Yeah,
thank you, Ty.
Thank you
It's
very
awesome,
much.
it
man.
happens. Thanks,
You're
Ty.
awesome. So
Well, before we go any further, I just want to give a big shout out to my new best friend Austin. He helped set all this up before the show. He's been a great guy, and I'd let him come on camera, but I know there's girls watching, and I don't want them to get so excited that they can't pay attention anymore.
Yeah.
he's a stud. So
he definitely is. So, and I want to say too that I appreciate how polite he was trying to be by writing us a polite note to let us know that we had the audio incorrect. And then I'm just like, dude, this isn't that kind of show. You don't need to worry about that. Just say what you need to say.
Exactly.
In the words of John Mayer, say what you need to say.
Say what you need to say. There you go. Well, Brian's going to
body.
challenge me. Usually it's me making these funny puns and things. And then now I had to think
I thought he
about it.
meant
I'm
you
like,
have a body like a Wonderland, because I do.
Well, I mean, you do. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
We all do. I mean,
My wife tells me that.
yeah, that's, I mean, I don't body shame.
No,
Anyone.
no.
We're all beautiful.
In our own spectrum.
Some of
Right.
us
On the
hairier than
outside
others.
and inside.
Beautiful yet the same.
Mhm.
So everybody, if you guys don't know, this is Mr. Brian Orr,
I
the
think
founder
they
of this
know.
whole event.
I think they know.
I know, but you know.
No, they don't. Yeah, they don't.
Oh, we do have that international side that maybe don't know of those electronic visitors from
Oh
over
yeah,
the pond.
the ones
we
with
do
the
have.
squiggly line names and stuff.
No, not those
Yeah,
ones.
no,
So,
they don't know.
yeah, let's not go there.
But thanks again, Brian, for inviting us to this event. It's just been fantastic. This
great.
whole thing has been a life-changing event, almost like
Life-changing.
life-changing
Seriously.
event.
Well,
Seriously.
Wow.
I had a deep discussion with Jesse, and it's incredible to hear your guys' story here. I've never really heard it from start to finish, and it's amazing.
Jesse
Clairbout.
Clairbout. Okay, yeah, that's an honor in and of itself. Jesse is actually a really big part of what we are. So
That's awesome.
it's hard to
And,
get him.
you know, one of my favorite things, and I was at the first one, I wasn't at the second one, and I'm at the third one now, but one of my favorite things, of course, we love the classes, but is the breakout conversations.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. And I'm noticing it's not just me, it's everybody's having these conversations and they're so in depth, and it's just such a great event that gives you the opportunity to do that. Not that I'm going to knock other events, because there's a lot of amazing events, but
No.
some can get so big that it's hard to even.
I would say they all suck compared to this.
Wow.
To be honest.
I mean, I'll take it.
I would totally agree.
Uh,
The rest is like, hey, we got a class. It's in a porta potty. Come hang out.
Yeah.
And it's totally different.
Speaking
I
of
mean-
porta potties, I do have to bring something up.
Okay,
I wanted to
all
bring up that, I had a little incident and
Oh,
had
God.
I
Again,
had some
again.
splashback. Okay.
All right.
But
And-
when that happened, I kind of noticed that it's getting a little full. So I just want to let you, I didn't know who I was supposed to tell about
It's
that.
getting a little full.
Yeah,
in
it's
there?
getting a little full.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you have to hand lower them. At this point.
Oh, I
There
didn't
you go.
realize
Haven't you
that.
read the sometimes it'll tell you that on the walls about the OSHA reg?
The poop spoon.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
So this is
just-
kind of on you. I'm just saying. Right. If
I
you're not-
didn't read the
yeah,
instructions.
if you're
You're
not
saying-
hand lowering.
I'm sorry. I didn't
not
know who
doing
I
it
was
right.
supposed to tell. So I just
Yeah,
wanted to tell
yeah, for
someone.
sure.
I figured
Yeah.
telling you was the right
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So
No, I
So-
can appreciate that.
I have a question for you, Brian. What is your like grandiose takeaway from this whole event? What's like the feelings you're left with? What's your? I mean, you do this mostly out of love for the industry, I know.
Mhm.
So what is your
And the money.
And the money. I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
mostly the money.
I seen your
okay.
I seen your office chair. It's
Oh,
just
man.
a pile of money now.
It is. We call it. I mean, so generally we call it Scrooge McDucking it,
Yep.
which
Yep.
is diving
Diving
into
in.
water
Through the
towers
coins,
of coins.
which
Yeah.
never makes sense, because when he dives in there, don't you think he would immediately smash his head on the
It doesn't.
coins? But
especially since he's a duck.
Physics, the
Right.
physics.
He's like 90% feathers.
but he floats through those
Oh,
coins,
my
man.
gosh,
Wow,
yeah,
that's my
somebody needs to
childhood
talk to
relived
them
right
about
there.
this.
I never thought about the actual density of his body being 90% feathers. I'm always like, well, that can't happen. Money's not liquid, but never
Right.
occurred to me about the
Right.
feathers.
You got to think about both sides.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a density question. on both sides.
Density, like cats times watts equals BTUs. Ducks times money equals.
Bill has
Right.
some problems with cats.
know,
Let's not
divided
even
by-
bring up cats
yeah,
over here.
yeah.
Okay,
Gold
so.
coins divided by ducks equals. So takeaways. Yeah. So for me, the things that you've mentioned are really make me happy, because those are exactly the things that I want to have occur here, which is, yes, there's a lot of education, and education is great, but education outside of relationship, kind of like what Ty was talking about,
Mhm, mhm.
doesn't mean anything. Because
Right.
I mean, again, at the end of the day, we do a job that is often thankless. We find it very enjoyable because we're generally puzzle solvers. We like accomplishing something and seeing the work at the end of the day and feeling good about it. But it's not unlike a lot of other careers in the sense that it is fairly invisible. There are some careers that are visible, but a lot of things that we do that people do every day are invisible. And it's really nice to come to a place where you can, kind of use a little bit of a woke term here. I think you can be seen. You're seen by people who know what it's like to have these experiences.
Yeah.
And while I've never actually touched an air conditioner, and I'm completely faking this entire time, I have convinced many people.
I told you so. I told you so,
I have
dude. I
told
totally
many
got that
people.
one.
I did have another HVAC influencer, who I will not name, tell me that I probably never fixed an air conditioner in my life, and I was like, "Crap, this guy figured it out." I mean,
You could-
finally,
you could tell us. Nobody
finally-
watches.
Nobody.
This show.
No, we're not going to do that. No, but I did. I was like, man, he finally figured it out. It is true. I never have. No, the point being that we do have these shared experiences, and getting into a space where you have good people who care about doing a good job, who can just kind of express the things that they experience and to learn a little bit more about it. That's what I want this to be. And hopefully have people walk away where they feel a little better about their lives. And like,
Mhm.
that's the goal. And the relationships ongoing are great if there's people who you get a chance to meet. But a lot of times it's mostly the feeling that you take away, because, the odds are you may not see these people again for a year, or maybe even be a
Right.
couple of years before
Right.
you
Yeah.
see them again. But you get this feeling that, oh, okay, there are a lot of people whose lives also are spent, 40 plus hours a week doing this thing that I do. And so that's okay. And it's okay to do this. It's okay to have our lives to some degree. I mean, because to some degree, in the grand cosmos of things, the way this got really existential.
Yeah,
quick.
there we go.
In the grand cosmos of things, all of our lives are kind of small.
I should be
right?
taking notes right now.
I mean, yeah, boy.
Write down these
Jeez,
big words.
jeez,
I want to
said
look them up.
existential. I said
Existential.
cosmos.
How do you
Yeah,
spell that?
yeah.
We need to write that down.
Existential.
Existential.
No, X. It's I.
X-I.
There's I.
Oh,
There's no
so
O
this-
in there.
We're gonna look that up.
yeah.
I wrote extraterrestrial.
It's also a lot of that going on too. Yeah, a lot of that. A lot of people who I'm pretty sure are not from here.
Oh,
You don't seem like you're from here, son.
You're not from around here, are you?
Are you? And by that I mean this earth.
You said
Uh,
pop.
Yeah, true. My family's from Ohio though, so we do say pop.
Yep.
Can I'm not going to name names because I'm not going to single anybody out, but I do want to tell you something that I don't think I ever told you this about the story of the first HVACR training symposium.
Okay.
And I was approached after the training symposium, and I'm not going to name names, but I was approached by someone inviting me to a cult, and it was really interesting. I'll tell you the story off air.
Oh no,
Did
no,
you
I
get
know
these
who
two?
it was. Yeah, I know who it was.
I did some research, and I've been very intrigued because I kind of want to.
Yeah, I joined. It's
I
great.
kind of want to go check it out. I told my wife.
It's free sex. I mean, it's
Very
amazing.
very
It's
interesting.
as if
Very
I hadn't already
interesting.
had enough of that, with 10 kids.
mean,
But
we
I just like to
worship
share
a giant
awkward stories
walrus.
over here.
A giant walrus in a
Right.
spaceship is our god.
Right.
That's
right.
what we worship.
Right. Yeah.
Once a year, he comes down and gifts us with golden coins.
Yeah.
Very
And I mean, I
interesting.
think it was actually so on the nose that I think it was pretty much like, hey, would you like to join my cult? I mean, it was
Pretty
almost that
darn close.
Yeah, it was almost that.
It was
much.
pretty darn close. So
Yeah.
that was pretty funny.
So that hasn't happened this year.
No, I was
and
kinda
that's
like,
a little.
huh.
I'm a little bummed.
I kind of was bummed out
Yeah,
too.
It's a good experience.
It's interesting
Yeah.
because
I was hoping there would be like a booth for like Milwaukee, Retrotech, cults, Scientology.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, so a lot of people would say that HVAC school is kind of a cult.
okay,
I mean,
fair enough.
A little bit of that. I mean, HVAC 2.0,
that's a
certifiable cult. I mean,
I
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Adam is deep in that one.
On that note, we have a new sponsor, everyone.
HVAC 2.0.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
HVAC 2.0.
Now I feel awkward. Well, the emperor
No.
clearly has no clothes here.
Exactly.
we just
All right.
totally made that up.
Okay,
Oh,
fair
man.
enough, fair enough.
Totally made that up.
No.
So you've been a very busy guy during this whole thing.
Is that have I given that appearance? Does
Like,
it seem that way?
I seen you walking once,
The
and I'm like,
ruse is-
then
he's
4
walking
days
somewhere.
later, I'm like, there he is again.
and I just walk, and
Just
then I walk
just
again.
walk and
yeah.
walk.
I'll
walk.
say though that and I can't remember if I already told you this. No, but I see a difference in your stress level this time.
Yeah.
You are enjoying this. You are
Yeah.
more in the moment.
Yeah.
So it is expressed. So
Good,
I'm
good, yeah.
hoping it is truly, and it's. I mean, I hope.
Oh
you
no,
are
no,
more
it
relaxed.
definitely. So so I'll tell you guys something that I have never said before. I've never told anyone before, is that I had a fairly extreme, like, depressive episode after the last symposium, and it was because of that experience of realizing that I cannot just be happy.
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't matter how good things go. Like, it's just it's never good enough. It's always I always feel like crap. Like, I always feel like I could have done better. Like, I'm letting people down. And like and it's not. So this is the thing about that, is that there's always reasons. Like, and to somebody else, they may not seem like good reasons, but that doesn't change the fact that if you're in a bad place,
Mhm.
those reasons become increasingly more real. So I did a lot of work on myself over the last year, and prepping for this specifically, just saying, like, look, if I'm getting tired, I'm going to go freaking take a nap.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I will
Yeah.
literally go take a nap in my studio, which I haven't done, but I actually do it at work sometimes. That's another thing.
Not to interrupt you, but can I ask you a question about that? Did you because I had similar issues, not to your extent of putting on a giant event like this that changes everybody's lives and then having feelings after that, but like, I don't know, I stubbed my toe basically, and I hired a life coach.
Right,
Essentially. So,
right. And we all need a life coach.
Yeah.
I mean,
so is that something that you maybe have done? Is like hire a life coach, somebody to kind of help you reorient your goals and.
I have not hired a life coach. I have sought some counseling.
Are you gonna give them your card or what?
Is
Is
that
that where this is
This
going?
is my
mean,
next.
I'm
thing is,
confused.
like, I will be your sponsor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So is this? Yeah. So this is like a multi-level marketing play.
Wait,
isn't it?
are you trying to
you
put them
gonna
on the
come give me a
spot?
presentation at my
/
house?
intervention.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Ooh,
Well,
wow.
no, I'm not part of this. I'm over here wondering,
Has-
like, how much is this
Yeah.
going to cost?
When you were talking about basically nothing is ever good enough, and you're always trying to make it a little bit better, and
Yeah.
you failed at this aspect or whatever, has that been something that's affected you your whole life, or has it been more recent with the growth of Kalos? Or
Well, yes, but there's this when your life is more structured and you're doing everything you can do. So like especially when you're young, or you're starting in a job, or you're caring for a young family or whatever, there's not much margin. Like, you can make mistakes, but it's generally on the edges, and it's usually pretty clear how to correct it. When you get to where the things that you're doing are largely out of your control and actually have a lot to do with other people and how you're making them feel and all that sort of thing. And when you are basically a total jerk, like I am, you realize that you're failing in a way that is much more disconcerting and difficult to control. Because it's one thing if it's like, hey, I misdiagnosed that compressor. I've learned this. Next time I don't misdiagnose compressor. Like, it's.
You know what, dude? I'm taking you off my list of people that I don't like anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and take you off.
Wow,
right
I'm
now.
so glad.
I
I've been-
appreciate that.
Wow.
I've been
I
wondering.
know that
whether-
made your day.
Yeah. I've been
What
wondering.
movie is
I
that from when the guy he does that and he scratches someone's
I'm
name
still
off
on
the
the
list,
list. So
and then he
I
puts
don't
on
know.
lipstick after? There's a movie that the dude does
Buffalo
that.
Bill.
No, anyways, we'll talk about that after
Yeah.
because that's a fun.
Have you ever watched this? Have you ever watched the show Monk?
Yeah, I have.
Okay,
I have
yeah,
watched.
So
Monk.
you know
it was like one of our favorites. So Monk, Psych, a few others, but the captain in Monk is actually Buffalo Bill.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, like it's very very upsetting when
I'll
you
have to
learn that
go
it's the same
check that
actor.
out,
It's just it's very
Yeah.
very
What,
upsetting.
what about that? I mean, could you
What a
imagine that actor
segue.
with that role? Like, it's
Yeah.
got to be so hard to
Yeah.
get past the image that he was Buffalo Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I imagine. So anyway, that's just a fun
Anyway,
fact for
side note, that's
everybody,
great
for the
show.
two people out there who are watching.
So,
yeah,
It's just
exactly.
an image for them.
Going back to what you were talking about moments before Chris brought up the Buffalo Bill stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ended up like in a situation like that? I would just imagine myself saying, "Well, I just."
I'm going to interrupt you just to correct you. It's 43 people watching to be
43,
exact.
yeah,
Okay, so
43,
slow
yeah.
your roll over there.
Okay.
Okay.
Know my place. Yeah.
What's that? Oh, okay. So do the math because I can't do that math.
So did you end up just like I don't know, lowering what you expect of yourself to kind of put you in a better place?
That actually that is a part of it, but another really big part of it is just recognizing that dreams are double-edged swords.
Mhm.
And sometimes, and again, I guess that is part of self-expectation. But there are a lot of things that an idealistic person, which I certainly am, lay out there, and they're these enormous ethereal goals that you are never going to achieve. And you start out kind of knowing that, but then actually when you begin to accomplish things that you didn't think you would accomplish, then I think you can get a little unrealistic, and it actually makes it worse. And so I maybe had gotten to that point. So yes, I mean, that is a huge part of it. But I think a bigger part of it is to just narrow the dreams a little bit and say, like, just an example of this is Jim Bergman and I have talked. Did that sound like a name drop? I didn't mean it to, but like,
Chris already did that earlier.
He did it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, we're basically best friends.
Yeah.
We go to the park a lot and ride in the swings. He pushes me. That's how
You know,
close we are.
but
Yeah,
you know
we
what?
eat a lot
I
of
mean,
ice cream.
me and my best friend, we ride the double bikes
Which is
together.
me. He's
So
talking about
it's
me.
just
I'm
to,
his
yeah.
best
to let
friend.
you know.
Okay.
We do that.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
do.
Yeah,
the
they
double
call those
bikes.
tandem bikes.
Tandem
but
bikes.
that's
there. So I call them double. Way to correct me.
it's
Make me
just-
feel inadequate.
no, it's
over
fine.
here.
It's the wrong way, but it's fine. It's
Yeah.
definitely tandem.
Double me. Reminds
That's
me of
fine.
double
Yeah,
me.
no, it's wrong, but it's fine. It's okay.
Try to write that word down again.
Yeah,
Existential.
tandem. Oh, exit. Yeah.
Excellent.
So we used to talk a lot about like changing the industry. That's a phrase that Jim uses a lot, and just realizing that, okay, at the end of the day, let's say you do change the industry in some way. What does that really do? Like, honestly, I mean, so yes, to one degree, we all change the world every day
Mhm.
by being in it and exerting the little bit
Your
that we have.
consequences or your
Butterfly
actions have
effect.
consequences. Yeah.
So that is true, and that's good to think about. But really, what we actually want to do is help good people get ahead.
Okay.
That's basically it. And if, to the extent that I can, take people who have odious intent and maybe act as a roadblock in their way.
Write
And
down that word too.
odious.
That's a
odious.
good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Odious.
odious
I'm
intent.
gonna write
I don't know
that
why
down.
I'm doing this right now.
Were you this good at vocabulary in school, or did you?
No, I just do it. I before I come on any podcast, I write down some keywords I want to try to shoehorn in.
And just so
like-
you know, almost
in order
every
to seem
guest,
smart.
almost every guest we've
Vocabulary
had
coach.
has said that on the air. They were wondering why they're doing this right now. So
Yeah.
just you're not alone. here.
It's
So-
what it is that the collective intelligence of this
Exactly.
space is
Like,
so high.
I'm pretty
Yes.
sure my IQ went up a
Are you
little bit
being
since this
facetious?
conversation started.
Wait, you used a big word?
It didn't actually sound that way. Yeah, like, that sounded like a total dick. I mean, I'll be real honest.
This conversation
like-
is just odious to me now.
It is, yeah.
Odious.
It's
Yeah,
odious.
my intent is odious.
When I
isn't
think
it?
Odie, I think of the cartoon dog. What is that from? Odie. That's
I don't
Garfield.
know.
That's Odie. That's the cartoon
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Garfield.
yeah.
You're being very Spartamine right now, Chris.
Dude, don't use big words over here. Come on.
Isn't that the sweetener that gives you cancer?
Maybe. I'm just trying to learn
See,
new words, just
hey,
like you guys.
It's fun to hang out with us because we're very ADD. We bounce around, then we come back and revisit
And
old topics.
Yeah,
right?
I clearly am as well. Yeah.
You're a very focused and driven individual, and sometimes I wonder, looking at all of the things you've done and all the things you've accomplished, I'm like, how does he do it? How do you? I mean, obviously that's a multi-level question asking you how did you build this empire essentially?
Yeah. So, I mean, you've met the people who work here. You've met a few of the people in my life, just a few. And so hopefully you get a pretty clear indication of why that is. Like it's not.
Is it all Nathan Orr? Did he really do all of this?
Okay. Him accepted. You've met some, no, but even Nathan, like even Nathan, that sounds mean. Nathan is amazingly talented and amazingly intelligent and all those things, but he is pointy. And we have a lot of really pointy people. That means you have really strong points and you have really weak points. And I am a pointy person. I have really strong points and I have really weak points.
I appreciate when you say big words that you explain them like that to me, so that way I can understand them. Okay, so anytime you use big words, just go ahead and give me a definition.
Okay, from
too,
now
so I
on. Well,
can
so when
understand.
you say pointy, that could mean, I mean, that almost sounds like horny. You know, like that could mean.
I was not
something
going in
different.
that
That's not where you were
direction.
going.
No,
Why do I always go there? I don't know.
I could have
know.
saw
It's
it
maybe a
either way,
problem.
really.
Those words, those words make me pointy.
Good
Okay.
God.
Anyway, so let's
Yeah.
focus. So that's always been our approach. So like we have Max sitting in the back of the room here, and Max is like one of the smartest human beings I've ever met. In other circumstances,
Max?
he may not be valued in the same way because there are some things that he's worked to grow in. But at Kalos, we have the mindset of like, if you are pointy, if you have some skill that you're going to bring to the table, then bring that to bear, and you're going to be allowed to be that. And that doesn't necessarily come from me. I think that comes from the fact that we're very anarchical as a family, as a culture. Like we, grew up with no television. We grew up being homeschooled when that wasn't really a thing.
Mhm.
We were very spiritual, very religious family,
Very
and
antidotable.
antithetical, whatever.
It's good. It's good when you correct people when they say words
Mhm.
incorrectly.
Uh-huh,
That's
sure.
good. Yeah, I
I
appreciate
wasn't. I was just trying to make up some
I'm
other
just
words,
messing with you.
adding some in there more. And so I think that spirit of saying, the way that most people do it isn't the way that you need to do it. Do it kind of your own way, or do it a different way, and then see where the chips fall. And that's something that is part of who we are. And we have a big family, so the big family and a lot of those people have been what built.
That was
Kalos.
kind of some of the points that Jesse gave me. Jesse is one of your key
Oh yeah.
people here, right?
Yep.
But he said basically figure out what you're good at, figure out what other individuals are good at, and let them do what they're good at.
Yep.
Don't give them tasks that they're going to fail at, right?
And don't compare them to you.
Right.
Like that's as an example, if there were a company full of Brians, it would be horrible beyond
Amazing.
belief. I mean, no, it would be
Imagine you arguing with yourself.
just constantly.
That would
just
be a never-ending
constant
battle.
arguing. Yeah,
That'd
just
be
like
awesome.
throwing little fits, like rolling around on the ground. It's bad. So, but one Brian who is the way that I am is fine. It's not always great, but it's good for the organization. But Jesse is what he is, and Nathan is what he is, and my dad is what he is. And that makes us what we are. So I think valuing that and learning how to growing and valuing that is what has kind of grown with the growth of HVAC school and Kalos, because, the three of us who started the business, my father, myself, and my uncle, and a lot of people get confused by this. My dad is a general contractor, so he's not in the HVAC business. I've always run the HVAC side. He's always run the construction side. But even in that, it's like valuing our differences, because there are some massive differences that have led to a lot of conflict, as they naturally would. But saying at the end of the day, when you get separated from it, being like, I couldn't operate without that. Like
Right.
to quote Rocky with Adrian, I have holes. Or how did he say
I
that?
don't
Why
know.
did I say that? Was a really bad Rocky.
I think
Yeah.
you're thinking of that Shia LaBeouf movie, Holes.
Oh,
You've-
that's
No,
actually one of my
it's-
favorite
it's,
Disney movies. No joke.
huh.
That is one of
That
my
is
favorite
amazing.
movies.
Yeah, that's
My kids hate when I watch that. My wife hates when I watch it. I can watch that on
hate when you
repeat
watch
like
it.
it's a Western.
Have you ever seen the Shia LaBeouf, however you say his name,
LaBeouf.
musical?
No.
That's on YouTube.
That sounds awful.
No, it is.
No.
It is.
It-
No, you have to. When this is all done, you have to watch it, or at least start watching.
We're not
it.
talking
It
the
is
one where he's
hilarious.
dancing in Sia's video in a leotard.
No,
in a
no,
cage,
the
right?
one where
Okay.
he's in the audience, and well, actually, I can't. I'll give it away.
Okay.
It's
Don't
amazing.
look
spoil
it
it.
up.
Don't spoil it.
I'm not going to. But everybody, yeah, you need to definitely. Okay,
I'll be in the porta
Definitely.
potty for the next 25 minutes.
It's
and that's definitely what
Careful.
you're doing
Watch
in
out for the splashback.
there. Yeah, for sure. Hand lower.
It's poop spoon.
Poop spoon. Yeah.
Well,
Going back, so out of all of that conflict, it sounds like there was just a tremendous amount of positive growth out of all that. Going back to your,
That's a good summary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good summary. Yes, and when we say all that conflict, it's not like it's
not
that
every
bad.
day.
It's not like it's that bad. We have a
fighting.
harmonious family, and that's actually one really interesting thing, even with my wife's family, because my wife has 12 siblings, of which Jesse Clairbout is one. And we just get along like we do. We have conflict, but at the end of the day, we really value each other. At the beginning of the day, in the middle of the day, at all times of the day.
Yeah.
I don't know why we say at the end of the day.
That's a good
you
point.
know?
Yeah. My wife only values me at the end of the day.
End of the day. Right.
Beginning of the day, it's like, well,
Yeah,
whatever.
not so much.
Sometimes I'm wondering if my wife wants to cash me in for some poker chips, you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought you were
mean,
going to
I don't
say
have
the
much
Cuban
value.
pool boy, but
No.
Oh,
no,
that would
I
work
mean,
too.
she would get
Hey, if he's rich, then you get alimony.
alimony.
Hey.
Alimony, 50-50 alimony.
Well, I do have to say thank you. This whole event has been awesome, and we still have more. This is only halfway done. We still have another day and a half or whatever time it is, but this has been awesome, and we do have to say thank you very much.
Yeah,
This is really cool.
I'm super glad to have you all here, as everybody who participates and has attended. It's really cool to see the community. It's really cool to see different perspectives and have different edges of the industry represented. It's kind of a hive mind. That's the way I like to think of it, of people who have all the strengths and experiences lumped together. And my goal is just to steal the life force from everyone else and absorb
That's
it.
part of the
into
cult, though. I mean, we
HVAC
kinda
right,
drink-
exactly.
It's like a
blood.
orb.
I mean,
It's an orb of energy.
If you
Brian
guys,
Orb.
if you guys don't already, obviously
Orb of
follow
knowledge.
Brian Orr, HVAC School. And I will say one of my favorite episodes, and I did reach out to you and let you know too, but one of my favorite episodes was the episode that you addressed mental health. You did it with Greaves and a few other people, and that was a great episode. There's a few of us that have done similar stuff. And I think it's so important that we do share that to let people know that it is real. It shouldn't be a stigma that we're afraid to talk
It's
about.
okay to have feelings.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
Like I tell people, you can't put a rag and zip ties around your feelings.
No,
Yeah, I mean, you can try.
You can try, be
You
big
know.
rag.
you might not
Yeah.
be
might
breathing.
suffocate.
You might suffocate. I
Yeah.
think you would.
You know what? Before we sort of start wrapping things up here, I did something special. I found a very, very Brian Orr appropriate dad joke.
Okay.
Oh, good. Please share.
What do you call a factory that makes okay products?
I don't know. Tell me.
A satisfactory.
I was like questioning if I should have my
Yeah, we were like
finger on
hitting
the
the
button.
dumb button
right
or
now.
what?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's.
Wait, are
lovely.
you saying the event was just satisfactory?
No,
I mean, that's good. It's better than unsatisfactory.
Okay, that's. I guess there's always a bright
Yeah.
side.
I mean, see, my takeaway from the whole thing is all about feelings, life changing, and Chris comes to the table with a poop story.
Yeah.
Oh, I always have a poop
You know.
story.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I'll definitely so Danielle, who is my assistant and also really the queen empress of this event, she's the one who's going to have to hear about it. You know, I'm just going to be like, well, I can't believe that you allowed this to happen to such an
exactly.
important person as Christopher Stevens.
Yeah, do you know how many subscribers?
Do
he
you
has?
know who he is?
Do you know?
And you allowed this to happen?
And she'd be like, "Oh yeah, he randomly signed my shirt and said you want an autograph."
Right. Trust me, you want this. Yeah,
You
I've
want
done
this.
that move. Yeah. And as it turns out, because it's me, they did in fact want it.
Yeah,
You know.
now I do want that. In fact,
Right.
I will get it.
Right. I draw a sketch of my own face though as my autograph.
There you
That's
go.
my-
Steve-O. Steve-O.
I do have to say that there was a real. We'll let you go right now, but there was a weird incident where, and if you're watching, I apologize, and you'll hear the true story. But someone asked me to sign a shirt, and I was just like, "That's just not my thing." That, no offense to people that like that, it's just
Yeah.
weird,
Well, he
right?
said that in front of the group of people, and then after they all walked away, he's like,
Yeah, no. So not here, but in general, someone asked me to sign a shirt, and I'm like, it just feels odd for me. So then I go home and I'm like, how do you even sign a shirt? So I get a bunch of fabric markers and I ruin about 5 shirts trying to sign a shirt, and then I just emailed them back and I was like, dude, I tried and I ruined 5 shirts. So I was just like, here's an
I mean,
extra
I
hat. I'm
ordered
so
a
sorry, I
shirt.
can't do this. That was a bit awkward. So
I ordered a shirt and asked you to hug it before you sent it.
you did. So what did I do?
You hugged it.
No, to embrace it. I put
You
the shirt
embraced
on
it, yes.
and then
without. I was bare chested. I put the shirt on. I had my wife
Mhm.
take a picture, post it on social media. Then I put a sweater on and I put all the gear on and I made sure I got all
Got
kinds
sweaty. Yeah.
of body
So,
hair and everything on it. And
like
then I
that-
mailed it to you.
Like that event in my life and being here, it's like it's close.
Man, yeah,
actually,
it's tough.
Joe is in the chat right now, and he's asking us to get your autograph for him. But he's like secret. We don't really know where he lives or anything
Yeah.
else. So we have to send your autograph to
An
his
address.
brother's neighbor in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
And then they like smuggle it across the border.
Yeah,
Oh.
because Joe lives up in Canada. We genuinely have been friends for 2-something years, and we do not know where Joe lives. We truly don't know if he's really a Canadian.
Hmm.
He will not give any of us his address.
Yeah, it sounds very Canadian.
He
though.
had to pay Bill one time because he owed Bill some money, and he sent him a bunch of Canadian gift cards, like Visa gift cards, that didn't work.
Nope, didn't work at all.
Wow.
Complete waste.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that's a very interesting story.
Yeah.
So I think it's time that we wrap this
On
up.
that note, I would hit the music, but
We don't have any music,
yeah.
so
I mean, no,
you
there is
guys-
music. It's not going to be the right music.
Yeah,
It's really not
it's all
that.
good.
It's really not
Shit,
that
we should-
good.
What
So
kind of music we got here?
hold on. Whoa. Okay.
it's all
Okay.
off.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, they turned it off for some reason.
No, they didn't.
No,
it
they
was
didn't.
just
They
the
just had-
fader. Just hit
yeah,
the button.
Yeah.
All right.
No, they did
Yeah.
actually.
It's all good. We don't need it.
Hey,
Say
Nope.
goodbye, everyone.
all right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.